All right, y'all, we're back with another episode of Let's Talk Fish, and we better have sound now. We didn't have sound a minute ago, Daryl, because we were actually muted, so go figure. But
we had some technical difficulties. We had to go find the Angler's Choice way back.
Yep, calls the trivia giveaway. As y'all know, Let's Talk Fish presented by Angler's Choice Marine. 3 locations, okay, Martinsville, Virginia, Lexington, North Carolina, and Spindale, North Carolina. And our giveaway tonight is sponsored by Angler's Choice Marine. We're going to give away one of these sweet, heavy duty for all you boys and girls that catch 40-pound bags out there. It will not rust, will not break. Weigh-in bags. We can give away a hoodie, and we're going to give away a hat at the end of the show, so y'all stay tuned for our trivia giveaway at the end of the show. We got a good question. And on top of that, we have a great guest tonight.
We do.
And speaking of Angler's Choice Marine, guys, gals, if you're in the market for a new boat, I know interest rates has been scaring everybody to death lately, but they've got a lot of contingency deals. They got a lot of kickback. They got a lot of big promotions going on in order to kind of help balance that out. And our special guest tonight is none other than Mr. Matt Streichel from SB Fishing TV in the house. And I'm going to let Matt, before we kind of really get into what Matt does and what he's all about, talk about some of the specials that Angler's Choice Marine is offering right now.
They've got quite a few good ones, too. Also, that weigh bag I've been using for about a year.
Oh, and by the way, Matt
awesome.
Catches 30-pound bags.
He does.
He's put 30 pounds in this bag.
Once in a blue moon. Yeah, I get lucky. I stumble across
pictures.
a couple big ones. But, yeah, a couple other of the promotions going on at Angler's Choice right now. They've got the Mercury Repower. So if you are looking to repower your boat, you can take it in with the old motor on. They'll take it off, and they will put the new motor on and waive the service charge, so that's always good. They also have got the 2023 Inflation Buster still going on. You can save up to like $15,000. You get a $2,000 Bass Pro gift card, and there's one more thing.
Free boat cover.
The free boat cover. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, which it's a nice looking boat cover too, and they're not cheap.
Yep.
So a bunch of savings going on.
Yeah, so it's the Inflation Buster's what, $5,000 off.
Yep.
Plus, Angler's Choice, I know, has these 2023 models that are left over discounted drastically. So you got the $5,000 plus the discount that they've got rolling, plus the $2,000 gift card, plus the $1,000 free boat cover. So easily, I know on a Ranger, it's well over $10,000 in savings. They have limited models left in stock. They do have some 2023 stuff left. I can't name all the boats. Y'all forgive me, but check out their website, anglerschoicemarine.com. Give them a call. And if you're in the Martinsville, Virginia area, swing by and see the showroom, dude. That's 80,000 square feet? 80,000 square feet. It's a ginormous showroom. Probably one of the biggest ones on the East Coast, I'd venture to say. Indoor showroom.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I don't know anybody else that has one bigger, so I'm going to throw that out there. I'll challenge anybody that does. I'm calling you out. If you got one bigger than 80,000 square foot, hit me up. Now, saltwater dealers don't count because their boats are bigger anyway. Got to be a freshwater bass boat dealer. All right, so tonight's topic, we get this question. Brian, you can vouch for this. Matt, I know you can vouch for this. Probably more than, oh, sorry. Let me back up. I apologize.
I'm confused.
Just chill out.
All right.
I got this. I forgot I had one announcement that I'm supposed to make, and I forgot the one announcement I was supposed to make. It is the announcement for a reminder, more or less, for the Special Olympics tournament. Okay, big tournament. Ricky Peace and that crew does a great job every year putting this tournament on to benefit the Special Olympics. They do it at Lake Norman. It's on November 4th. Okay, there's still time to sign up. SOCCtournament.com, SOCCtournament.com. $6,000 guaranteed for first place. That's minimum. Okay, that's guaranteed.
Yeah. That's if there's 2 boats or 200.
Correct. It could reach up to $20,000 depending on the fisherman. There's a lot of contingency money on the line. I know they're giving away, which this is really cool, the highest finishing junior team and the highest finishing high school team. So, you know, the high school and junior series is 2 different age groups.
And they usually always do like a
husband-wife,
father-son, father-child.
And they usually do some pretty cool stuff like smallest limit, all kinds of different things. So a lot of really cool prizes, a lot of money to give away, and it's for a great cause. So go to SOCCtournament.com for the Special Olympics tournament on November 4th on Lake Norman. All right, back to the topic. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. Matt, so I got to talking to Matt a little bit earlier before we came over here, And Matt has a extremely successful YouTube channel. Okay, he's been doing it for 4 years now. Started about 4 years ago. It is your full-time job, 100% your full-time job. The question that we get asked a lot, and I'm sure Matt gets pounded with it, is how, especially young up-and-coming fishermen, right, or just young up-and-coming, YouTubers, guys that want to be successful at YouTube. How can I grow my social media? How can I grow my YouTube? What do I need to do? Top 5 things or whatever it is. Like I get that message like constantly, and I get that question constantly. For us, it's more coming from up and coming young fishermen. For you probably get a mix, right? I mean, you get some people that just want to be, they want to have a successful YouTube channel, and for us, it's a lot of aspiring pros. But I'm going to let Matt dive into this tonight in detail, and here's your chance to ask questions. I'll direct questions to Matt, but I want him to dive into this in detail on kind of what it takes to do what he does and to do it successfully. So, Matt, you take it from here.
All right, I'm going to try my best on this. It's a pretty intricate deal. First and foremost, and one of the most challenging issues is you have to have time. Like the amount of time and work you have to put into it is unbelievable.
So it's your full-time job, though. So that like it has to be.
It has to be.
Right.
Yeah, to be able to do it full-time, you basically have to do it full-time before you can even live off of just doing YouTube.
Right.
Which for me, and the reason I was able to do it was that I was bartending. So I would work at night. I would, start my shift at 4 or 5. And I would edit after, and then I'd get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, fish till 2 or 3, and then go back into work, do that over and over and over again for a couple of years till I grew the channel to a point that I was able to sustain living off of that amount. So it's
a lot of sacrifice.
It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a ton of work, and it's something that, if you have another full-time job that's during the day and you have kids, finding time to really go out and do it it's just impossible for a lot of people. And I don't want to sound negative. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with professional
it's
fishing.
essentially, it's like
sure.
just like professional fishermen, you own your own business. I mean, this is your business.
Yes,
so
sir.
You're going to obviously put forth as much effort as you can to make sure it succeeds, kind of the same way Matt and I do with the professional fishing side of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're all living our dream, right? Like this is what we dreamed about doing. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a good support group, of which I'm sure you have, and we're both very blessed to have that also.
For sure.
It takes faithful followers, fans, and good sponsors. But anyway, continue, Matt.
So where should I even start with this? You just want me to?
Well, I think you hit it really, really good, and letting people understand that that's one of the best statements I've ever heard in saying you have to go full time before you could afford to go full time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
to grow.
that's what people don't realize. The
Right.
time that you have to dedicate, and that's anything. That's like, I don't care what you're doing professionally. Like if you're a professional baseball player,
Well,
like
I know I keep using the analogy of us as professional fishermen. That's the same way I look at how I started my career.
yeah.
I was 27 years old, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to quit my job if I want to do this and go try to make it work. Like it's just you got to leap out there. You just got to go.
You have to be willing to risk it.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You don't know if you're gonna succeed or fail, and you do everything you can to succeed, but
Right. But
it's
there's
still-
always doubts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're gonna hit those, downswings where you're like, oh man, this might not work out, but you just keep trucking and
But you get
hope
that
it
one
works.
home run, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think pick up where you left off from. Basically, you were bartending, trying to cut it as a YouTuber at the same time.
Yep.
When did that transition take place when you could quit your, I was going to say day job, is really a night job, I guess.
My night job. Yeah.
and pursue the YouTube deal full time?
So
And how long did that transition take? Like how long did you have to do it and bartend before you were able to, jump into it?
Sure. Yeah. So earlier when you had asked me how long I'd been doing YouTube, so I've been full-time for 4 years, but I had the channel up and running probably 2 years prior to that. So from 0 to about 40, maybe 50,000 subscriber range is where I was able to transition from saying like, okay, I can take less shifts and I can basically quit bartending and I can
Start focusing on it.
start really focusing on the YouTube. And like, if I have to scrounge by for 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year, then I'll do it, but I'll be able to focus fully on this.
Right.
So I
Right.
should be able to turn it around and make it successful.
Right.
That's the goal, at least.
And have a
right?
lot of fun while you do it.
And have a lot of fun. That's the whole thing. Like, it was an avenue for me to be able to fish full time.
Right.
Like, I just love to fish. I am not good enough to be a pro and not good enough to be a guide. So I figured this YouTube thing might work out, and it did.
So, and
awesome.
that's cool. Like, that's
That
what a
is
lot of
awesome.
people in our industry, like, there's a lot of ways to make a living in this industry.
There really is.
And there's more now than there ever was with technology and social media and stuff. But I respect that. Like, that's really cool. And I love the fact, because that grows our sport more as a whole too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's so many different avenues that people can chase now. And if you want to fish professionally, you can chase it. If you want to just do YouTube, if you want to just fish local tournaments and build your social media, whatever it is, like, you can do it. Like, but it all takes a lot of dedication, a lot of risk, but it can be very rewarding too.
Yeah, and then there's the other side of like, if you do decide to start a YouTube channel, learning how to film, learning how to edit, having time to do both of those things, and it's, you know, there's a bit of a learning curve with all of it.
Oh, I can imagine.
I couldn't imagine.
You know, how to run your cameras proficiently,
Yeah.
so you can go through and
Yeah.
edit, and it's not going to take
Because you don't want to
12
miss a
hours.
shot. You don't want to miss that moment that you
Right.
know is going to get like X amount of you, like everybody's going to flock to. Like
Oh.
you never know when you're going to get that viral shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. That's like one of the biggest things that's still always in the back of my mind is like, wow, I really hope both cameras are running. Or, like,
Right.
I always have one running all the time, and like, you know, if one turns off, I'm like, okay, I have the backup. But
Right.
if it's raining real hard or some bad weather situation or one of my portable battery dies, it's like, we're risking it, but I think we'll be okay.
I've got a question just for me.
Sure.
And I've got a bunch of questions coming in, not to
Yeah,
interrupt,
we've
that,
had some
that,
great
that I'm going to
questions on
direct
the
some
feed.
questions towards you, Matt, especially relating directly to what you're starting to talk about here.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Brian.
On the YouTube, like as far as the videos you put out, what seems to garner the most views? Like, is it more content related, or is it like some kind of accidental something you didn't expect to happen on the water? Or
It can go both ways.
Yeah.
Right. So if you think about YouTube fishing, like, you're going to have that group of people that watch it for the fishing, whether
Right.
it's to learn or watch your
right, to
tournament
learn
or
the
whatever.
techniques and
But crazy things do happen when you're out
yeah,
fishing.
exactly.
So if you capture that and it rolls into one of your tournament videos or whatever it may be, and you go with a thumbnail and title relating to that, it's going to reach
Right.
a much larger audience. So you might have a video where a tree gets struck by lightning
Right,
in front
yeah.
of you, and you know, you
And the
post that.
reason I asked that
That's the
question,
thumbnail. Is
That's
the
the
tree
thumbnail.
getting hit by a lightning bolt.
that's what I was going to say. Like that, the reason I brought up that question is because I post a fair amount on my Instagram page and Facebook, the videos, techniques, and stuff like that. But the one video I've had that's got the most views is when I was at Clear Lake and I set the hook and the fish jerked the rod and hit me in the back of the head.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like it gets 60, 70,000 views, and then I do a technique video and it gets 10 to 15,000 views.
Right. And I think the main reason is you're reaching a broader audience.
Right,
Where people that
exactly.
don't even fish are like, oh, I want to see what happens to
Right,
this guy.
exactly.
Or like, I want to see that
I thought
tree.
it
Like,
was
I want to see
fun.
what happens. Yeah, yeah, of course.
Comedy does.
Well,
sell.
algorithms are everything with social pages now, and I've learned, like, there's certain videos that reach everybody, and there's certain videos that only reach a handful. But like, I had posted one of my youngest daughter catching a little bass when she was 4. This might have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And she kissed the fish, and I held it up, and the fish's his anus was right there, and I'm like, she said, I want to kiss him, and I held it up, and she said, no, I'm not gonna kiss him right there because that's his boo boo, you know. And anyway, it ended up getting like 170,000 views on Facebook.
Yeah.
But it was because of the
Right.
algorithm and the trending deal and the way it was fed to a different audience. Like, it reached different people because of the type of video it was and the people that
Right.
were viewing it. So that being said, like, it is crazy how those things work, but it seems like the dumber stuff that I do gets more
Yeah,
views than the
that's
cool
me.
stuff that I think is
Yeah.
cool. You know? Like you fall out of the boat, you hit yourself in the back of the head with a rod.
Exactly.
A tree gets struck by lightning. You know, there's a niche in this industry, and obviously you figured it out.
As far
and,
as the views on social media and things like that go, there is for sure.
Yep. A question about, you talked about editing and things like that. So this question is, SB, what is your video editing workflow process? So if, let's just say you went out and filmed a whole day, I guess your process in editing that and timelines and things like that.
Of course. So I generally run 2 GoPros and a big camera, which I'll do intros, B-roll, outro on.
Yeah.
I'll throw all of that on the computer, which can take upwards of an hour, depending how much footage I have, and then throw that onto Adobe Premiere, and I'll generally start it with the intro and then flow over to the chest mount GoPro, and I run it in a loop, so you have 5 1-minute clips, and I always know that that last clip is going to be where I stop the camera. So
Okay.
either a fish catch, a talking point, or someone hits themselves in the back of the head with a rod, whatever it may be that I think would pertain to the video, I start editing down that the chest mounted camera.
Okay.
So you got to go through a lot of clips. Like I could have 180.
Yeah, so you can spend a day.
Oh yeah. Well,
2
start to
days.
finish, it's always a 6 to 8 hour job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no way
See,
around it.
I never knew that about it. Like, I knew there was a lot that was involved with it, but that's a full-time
And he's doing
job.
it all himself. Like,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Scott's got McCoy that does. But
Right.
still, like, so we'll come in from a tournament day, something I hadn't really talked about on the show, but Canterbury's running the camera, I'm running the camera, Martin's running the camera. We hand McCoy 3 cameras. Okay. That is, what is that? 25 to 27 hours of fishing
Yeah.
that he's got to go through and edit.
Yeah.
And I've watched this boy do it, and it will blow your, like, you and I would be like, what? Like, it'd make you drunk watching
Yeah.
him do this.
Oh, I guarantee.
Like, they do an amazing job, but again, it's like a repetition thing for him, you know, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like, you start, but your benefit, right, is McCoy does it, unless I tell him, he doesn't know where certain clips are. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
give him
Well,
direction
you
on
know
times
that.
a day.
Significantly
you
harder
know
for
where
McCoy.
to go.
Significantly
You're
harder
like,
for
I know
McCoy.
what I did because you're doing it all yourself, so you know what you did at what times roughly.
Like, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
make a little note,
You
like
can track it down quicker.
12
Well, that's
o'clock,
why
called a
like I
giant.
stop the camera and I'm going to know something is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
But
yep.
for you guys, I'm sure you run your cameras just you click record and does it
Yeah,
run
it's
all
run
day.
for
Well,
9 hours.
Hollywood's over there clicking all the time, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's, you know, that's his channel.
sure.
But Scott and I just run all day. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
Canterbury,
what I do,
I'm the
too.
worst. Canterbury's probably the second worst, and then Scott's obviously the best. But, like, I just let mine run all day. I mean, I've even bounced one out of the boat in the lake and just kept, like, I didn't, like, you know, like, whatever.
What can
Like,
you
I don't
do?
care.
Are you
I'm
gonna-
out there to fish tournament and try to
Yeah,
compete.
yeah,
Like,
that's where I'm
it's
at.
not my number one priority, but I want, you know, I want them to get what they need to get for the channel, too.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
But if it was my channel, like Scott, like it's Scott's channel, I'd
Yeah.
probably treat it a little differently. I always say if you own the business, you know what I mean? Like, so anyway,
Hey, I got a question. Just thinking, is there a market to like sell a YouTube channel? Like, see, you build it up. Like, is there a buyer for it? Like on down the road?
Yeah, I want to say there is. I've
Okay,
seen
I mean,
a,
I don't
I've seen
know
a couple
that.
different things. I've never
That's
truly
interesting.
looked into it because I like running the channel.
Yeah, I
I've
know,
never
but I'm
really
just saying,
thought
man,
about
so,
it. But
so
Like, say 10 years from now, you've made a good chunk. You're happy with it. You kind of want to go on to your next stage in life, or you're just tired of editing. You just want to go enjoy fishing
Yeah.
and not
okay,
have to
that's
run a camera.
that to me, that's a really, really fickle situation because. Go ahead, Matt. I know what you're going to say.
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, we
You
talked
do it.
about it at the house.
Yeah.
And what people connect to, like,
Yeah, is him.
correct.
Right.
It is a personality. It is a person. It is a character.
Yeah.
It's the same with Scott's channel. People connect to me. People hate me. People connect to Canterbury. Some people hate him.
Right.
Some people connect to Martin, you know, and vice versa. So if he was to sell the channel, it would be like, you bought it. He's still working, though. Like, he's still running the channel. You
Yeah.
just own it now. and then y'all
Oh,
figure out
yeah.
some kind of contract. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so like you
but
buy
that
in-
kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Because he's still
Yeah.
working full time.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know how that would work. Like if you sold, you're just selling SB Fishing TV and the subscribers.
Right.
Yes.
And then somebody else has to, like if Brian and I come in there and took it over, like it would be a total flop, right? Like we
Well,
don't know.
people that
we
were
don't
watching
even-
it
we don't even know what editing
it
software
would
is.
definitely be a flop.
I don't know. I think you guys would have a pretty good YouTube
No,
channel if you
well,
did it
you don't
together.
understand. Like,
Is
But
there
if
a
you
market
took
for-
over my channel, people would be like, "Who are these guys?"
yeah, we
Well,
would
they
have
would
to,
know
we
you,
would
but
have to
you know
hand
what
the
I'm saying.
footage to somebody too to do all that editing.
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
let me ask you this: the YouTube master, is there a market for just a raw, unedited footage YouTube channel?
Well, how filtered is YouTube though? How filtered is YouTube?
You can get away with quite a bit, but then you have some.
Like, can I just post my
gray
8-hour
areas.
tournament day on there?
I don't know if
It's
there's
just
many
plain
people that do
English.
that. It might be tough. People would watch it. Like
For eight- would
people
people
would
watch
watch
it for
it,
8
but
hours?
I don't know if they'd watch it for
What
8
if you
hours.
broke it down like 1-hour segments?
That's the kind of stuff you need to sell.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you want to buy my footage?
No, I didn't say.
Bam! I'm on board.
I'll buy
I got
your
a
idea.
YouTube
Let's
channel.
go.
I just acquired a YouTube channel.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, so back to the subject at hand.
We're
Matt.
talking about YouTube.
We do have a bunch of questions
we
coming
do.
through, but
And it's pretty amazing to me. Like, I have as much respect for y'all doing that as I do, anybody in the industry, because I know how hard a work it is and how much time you have to put into it.
so do all your videos relate directly to catching fish?
Generally.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
All right.
Like-
Well, yeah. So here's a good question then. So how many fish do you feel like you need to catch to make it worth creating a video? But, yeah. Just answer it that way. I mean, that's the question. I got other questions, but
It does depend. So if I'm fishing a tournament and I'm fishing, we'll say a whole series. Like I fish a lot of John boat tournaments with my brother.
Okay.
Whether we catch one or we catch a 30-pound bag, I'm going to post it. And people actually really appreciate the ones that you post that you have a really bad day because it's real. They're like, you
there's
know
a
what?
lot of different emotions.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I see what you guys tried. I still try to make the video interesting by telling the viewer, telling the camera during the day, like, this is what we're going to try to do, and it's not working. So
Right.
we're going to switch and try doing this.
yeah.
And I think that's what your hardcore fishing fans, they like that aspect of it.
For
they
sure,
they
yeah.
want to see the wheels turning. They want to see the decisions being made,
Yep.
and seeing how you correct a bad day. Like how can you go from nothing to something?
Yeah, and how you navigate trying to find a bite.
Right,
I think
exactly.
that's really what I try to do in my videos. Like, I don't have a lot of direct how-to videos. It's mainly like, okay, I'm going out this morning or I'm fishing a tournament and you're coming along with.
Right.
So I try to keep it organic and just naturally flow through the day. Once in a while I'll do more how-to videos, but rarely.
Right.
So
So this is a question for the group, which pertains to kind of what y'all were talking about. What was your worst tournament fishing day, and how did you emotionally recover from it? So Matt, can you answer that?
I've just had too many to.
Come on.
I don't have any of these big
just-
checks. in the
Okay, just
room
talk
that-
about emotionally recovering from a bad tournament.
Okay, so I also come from a poker background and specifically
Interesting.
multi-table
So
tournaments.
does Kyle Welcher, the reigning angler of the year. He was
Yep.
actually a professional, like dated. Is that what you did?
On the side, yeah.
Okay.
I played a lot
But
of
you still
big
worked?
MTTs. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
I did do it full time a little bit here and there, but or in the off season of like when it's January to
Yeah.
early March, like
Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of MTTs.
Did you see the poker table in the shop while you? I know you saw it. when
No,
you
I
walked
didn't,
in.
but I do know you guys have a poker night. I was hoping to get that.
Yeah,
invite.
Ryan-
I was
Ryan
going to be
should-
quiet about it, but
We used to. I've been invited once, and I thought I would be a shoe-in to come back every week because they took all my money in like 20 minutes.
20
And-
minutes.
Yeah, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
we like
It's
payers, not players.
Three hands.
Did he bluff it all off or just?
Nah, he
I
just.
just don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, gotcha.
I never
So you
got
should be the
invited
first guy
back.
they invite back.
I know. I was like, well, I'll be the first one invited
We
because they
hadn't
know
had
they're
that
going to
many
take my money.
tournaments. Calling me out over here, man. So now y'all got me all bamboozled about questions
Sorry.
here and where I was at. But what were we even?
Oh, I was talking about my
Oh yeah.
worst
Emotionally
tournament. So I
recovering.
have a. When you play these big MTTs, it can be 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 people. Like the variance within that is so high. Winning one and doing well in one is very slim. So there's this saying, it's like on to the next one. Like I'm you know, you always try to play well, but you can't worry about the results every single time, because there's going to be tournaments, both within poker and fishing, that
Always.
are just crap. Like, they suck. There's
Yeah.
nothing you could have done different, and it's always hindsight, right? It's like, okay, well, I probably should have gone and fished these brush piles sooner or later, or changed the rhythm in which I was going, and
That's
nothing I
what-
can do now.
No, and that's what makes fishing, and I guess kind of relates to the poker scene as well, is it's easy for us to get down on ourselves when we have a bad day, but there's so many variables that you have no control over.
Absolutely.
That factors into all the decisions that, I mean, you really, like, we all beat ourselves up when we have a bad day or have a bad event.
Sure.
But a lot of the times it's probably not necessarily something we could control.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, through more experience, we can make decisions quicker, maybe change the final outcome a little better, but there's so many variables, you can never factor them in and get it all pinned down. I think that's why all of us love fishing so much, is because you can never learn it all, because there's so much changing, so many pieces of the puzzle that have to line up that you can never learn it all.
100%. So this was a really, this is funny. Ben Ott, he said he watched a video where they put two guys on a polygraph and asked what they love more, their wife or fishing. And you know what? You know what would be awesome?
What?
They should do you and I that way, because I would 110% pass that, no problem.
I would too.
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know. All right.
If they ask you if you like deer hunting more,
That wasn't the question. It was pertaining to fishing. It wasn't the
you've got to
question.
give the questions toward the individual.
No.
Yes, you do.
This is a fishing podcast. We've been through this before. It's not a hunting podcast. And we could do that in a separate night, separate time, separate day, separate guest, whatever. Matt may not even be a hunter. Are you a hunter, Matt?
I don't. Just never had the opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, well,
It's fun. But it's
that's,
not bad.
I'd do it.
Fishing's funner.
yeah, that's right.
You know why fishing's funner?
Why is that?
Because if you got 100 bass sitting on this point, you can catch every one of them and turn them loose. If you got 100 deer sitting over here, you can't shoot but one.
I gotcha.
So fishing's funner.
Hell yeah.
More action. More opportunity
More
for
action.
action.
Yep. All right. You don't now. We went through this, but this question was your thoughts on having a cameraman. Do you ever have a cameraman, or do you do everything like self-filmed?
I do everything myself.
Everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Once in
All
a
right.
while, if I have a buddy in the boat and I catch a big one or something, I'm like, hold this camera for me real quick, and then
Yeah.
that helps a lot. But we'll say 95% of the time, I try to do it myself. I don't like to impose on people that I'm fishing with either. Where I don't like to do that often, where I'm like, hey, can you film this for me? I don't want to get in the way of people's day.
Matt just stuck his foot in his mouth.
Why? You
How
see,
so?
my wife actually made a comment on our YouTube channel. She went, really? She knows better than that. Come on, man. All right.
that's so
This is a really, really, really good question from Keith Wood. It's a serious question. So when we talked about how YouTube is such a flooded market now, how it's so competitive, how do you, when there's so many different channels out there, especially fishing channels, how do you stand out? Like, could you narrow it down to a couple little things on how you stand out, whether it's the amount of content, the type of content, whatever it may be?
So those two for sure. The more you post, the more the YouTube algorithm's gonna love you. They're gonna promote your videos more. The content has to be good to go along with that. And then your thumbnails and titles. That's really like two of the biggest things, which even I still struggle with.
You gotta
here
have
and
an
there.
eye catcher, something to.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you think about how many videos there are out there fishing related, people can scroll
Lot.
through and see 1,000 in a matter of 2 minutes. So like, what is your thumbnail and title going to be to make them click yours?
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah.
It's tough to do.
And people talk clickbait all the time, but clickbait is only something that, like, true clickbait would be to me something that doesn't even exist in the video somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
and that is
they're
out there on
leading you
YouTube,
just to
like,
get you to open it up. and
right.
click on it. Yeah.
But what Matt was talking about was, It's not clickbait. It's just being creative and pulling the most exciting event out of the video. Same with movie titles
Right.
and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
something to draw you in.
Same with previews for every movie that comes out at our local theater. It's got to catch your attention and engage you immediately.
Sure.
And
So
then
is it like say Google, like when you type in search something, like, you know how the first things that pop up, like I'm sure YouTube's got like some kind of algorithm that does that as well. Like if I went in YouTube and typed in bass fishing, like how do you get to the top of that list? Like, you know, to be the first couple of videos.
Well, there are like keywords you can put in for every video that you hope will help get
Right.
you up there on that search.
what is that called? What are those words called? There's a
Just a keyword.
okay. Well, thought there was a name for those little keywords that you put in there for each video. So when it pops up in the search bar or whatever, like if you search something, if you have that keyword in
Oh, like SEO?
Yeah,
Search engine
yeah.
optimization?
Yeah. Thank you.
So all
Thank
those
you.
words
Technical
are
term
part of
that I
that.
What
know.
was it called? I didn't hear it.
Search engine optimization, or
there you go.
SEO.
There you go.
But it doesn't always work. Where like you could type, bass fishing, SB fishing,
Right.
bass boat, everything you'd think people are looking for, you still won't necessarily pop up to the top.
Right.
You might not even show up on the first 10 pages.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
reality of it.
So I got a question. Talking about, basically what I just asked and what Keith asked, how do you stand out? When you go from trying to build the perfect clickbait or whatever, the title, the picture, the thumbnail,
Eye catcher.
eye catcher, soon as they click on that and they start the video, what is in the first, would you say 10 seconds or 30 seconds is probably one of the most critical points in the whole video?
It's definitely an important piece to keep people interested.
Right.
Also, if you can throw some sort of B-roll or clips of like that highlighted moment in the beginning, but you just tease it.
Like a
Yeah.
little teaser.
There's like things like that you can do to keep people interested, but going along with like the hardcore fishing fan or like people that are watching these fishing videos, a lot of them I feel like will watch the first half of the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think my average view retention is 55%, which is pretty good.
That's pretty
on
good,
the
yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right, Hellabass wants to know if you have any interest in Bassmaster Opens or Toyotas.
Yeah, for sure. Will you sponsor me, Hellabass?
There you go. There you go.
No, I would definitely do it. It'd be fun. I'd love to.
Is
I'm
this-
working
is
my
this-
way towards those.
Okay.
We'll probably fish another season of BFLs because I'm still working my way up. This is my first year with
Sure.
a bass boat, so I'm learning to fish more competitively on bigger waters and or against 150 other boats. Like,
Got you.
Right.
Got you.
It's just tough.
All
I mean,
right.
not tough for you guys, but
Oh, it is. It is. There's,
I
there's
see some
nothing,
checks up there that
Nothing
say
in
otherwise.
bass fishing is easy anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's never a gimme. Like usually, like, and I'm mad to vouch for this. Like 8 or 9 years ago, when they would release our schedules, like I'm sure we would all point to one tournament and be like, "That's the one that's going to be in my wheelhouse." And 90% of the time, it would be. Like anytime FLW put Beaver Lake on the schedule, Matt was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be all right this year."
I saw a couple first places from Beaver Lake.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, couple questions. One's for Brian and I, but we'll take that in a second. What's the most views you've ever got on a single video, and did you try to duplicate that in any way?
Oh yeah, I think it was a little over 2 million.
Okay, wow.
It was a muskie fishing video.
Muskie fishing.
Yep.
All right.
That's awesome.
I try to muskie fish as much as I can now, but when I was living up in Northern Virginia, it was just more accessible for me. Now it's a 3-hour drive minimum
Right.
to go anywhere to even attempt to chase one. And when I was there, it was an hour and a half to get to 3 or 4 different places. So
Gotcha.
I was able to do that a lot more. That's actually one of the main things that helped grow my channel in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I started a series where I was like, okay, I'm going to film every single muskie trip trying to catch my first one.
Right.
So the first 9 of them didn't even catch fish, but they were blowing up my channel.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was pretty interesting, actually, because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just going to give it a shot. and it really caught on. People were like, man, I want to see this guy catch this muskie. But it was a good learning experience. I met so many cool people. A lot of muskie guys were like,
Right.
okay, you suck. This is what you need to do. So,
But you're out there learning it, and you're trying to figure it
Yeah,
out. And people
absolutely.
are getting to go along with you on that journey. They're getting to
Yeah.
watch that learning process.
for sure.
And that's fun to do with anything in life. Like I've kind of compare it to Cooper, like right now, and he just started kindergarten and just learning all the stuff. Like we were doing his homework tonight and watching him sound out the letters and stuff for words, his sight words, trying to read. Like that's interesting to me because I try to visualize and think in my mind of what's going through his mind as he's trying to learn this for the first time ever. Because that's one of the purest things in anything is learning something for the first time and figuring it out for the first time.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that Priscilla's your girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because the question was, have you ever been outfished by your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got a pretty good story on that one.
All right, let's have it.
Fished a small derby a few years back, and she doesn't get out too often, but when she does, she usually catches them. That morning, for whatever reason, she's like, I'm going to catch my PB today. I was like, I hope you do. She goes, yeah, I think it's going to be like 5'2". Okay, cool. So the last 15 minutes of the day, she has been thrown towards the bank. I'm telling her it's spring, early
Right.
spring. Like, keep throwing at the bank, keep throwing at the bank. She turns around on this long flat point, bombs one out with 15 minutes left, catches a giant. We bring it in, 5.2 pounds. She literally spoke it into existence. It was pretty awesome.
That is pretty.
Yeah.
Has Emily ever beat you bad, Matt?
Can't say that she has.
The first time I ever took Allie, she absolutely kicked my butt too.
The first time you ever took her, now, did you let her?
No, we
Okay.
were at Lake Hickory.
Was this
and-
still like in impress me stages?
Yeah, like we'd been dating for a couple months.
Oh, you weren't married yet?
No.
Oh, yeah,
we were
still in the
dating,
impress me
yeah.
stages, yeah.
And I took her to Lake Hickory, and this is back when Lake Hickory was good. But I tied her on like a little clear, tiny torpedo on a spin cast reel, and I mean, she wore me out. Like it was ridiculous.
But question for Brian and I: do we ever see ourselves starting our own YouTube channels? I can answer that now. I'm 42, 16 years in the professional career of fishing, and I will not start my own. I don't want to say.
I don't think you should say that.
Should never
No,
say.
I don't
never.
think you should
I
say
agree.
that
I
either.
agree. I agree, Matt.
What if you guys
If
had
the
a
right situation presented itself,
I would 100% have to have a full-time guy though. Like so.
yeah,
so
I couldn't do it.
So I am part of the SMC YouTube deal throughout the tournament season, obviously. Not throughout the rest of the year, but throughout the tournament season. Scott has a full-time cameraman in McCoy. Fisher, who does a phenomenal job. Dylan May comes in, steps in, helps out during tournament events too. They do a great job. And if I was to do something like that, I would 100% have to hire a cameraman, a full-time cameraman.
Yeah.
Because it's like Matt said earlier, it's all in or all out. Like you
Yeah.
can't, and to balance professional tournament fishing with a successful YouTube channel, like a YouTube channel and tournament fishing is one thing, but a successful YouTube channel
Yeah.
and being a successful professional tournament angler, that's 1 in a million. And there ain't but a couple guys out there that can do that.
How many? Like maybe 4.
Well, that have truly successful channels. You
Like
got Jacob
Wheeler,
Wheeler,
Scott.
you got Scott Martin. I mean, when I say like
Does I
super
can help?
successful, I'm
Yeah.
talking about 250,000 followers. You know,
Yeah.
quarter million subscribers.
Right.
You know, there's a lot, huh? Yeah, I don't know what his subscriber list is.
Yeah.
I mean, Gerald has got a pretty big following, but he doesn't even do that much on it. But his social media, like all his other platforms, are so
Yeah.
big, like they just cross over, right? And just watch his YouTube content. So we talked about that earlier too. It was like Wheeler built his up so fast. Wheeler also has a full-time cameraman, Brody. But he won 25,000 tournaments in 3
Yeah.
years. You know what?
Right.
Some crazy number of tournaments. When you win that much on a national level,
You're
your
obviously
brand
gonna
gets
have the eyeballs.
correct. You got the eyeballs, so it's easy for him to jump into something like that than it would be for other.
That would be
professional
the
anglers.
only way I could do it as well. Like I would have to have somebody to do everything, and all I did was fish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way I could ever do
I
it.
could definitely see it work for both of you. You should split a channel, get one camera,
We split.
send them
them
out to your events, and then
We do.
ship
we
them
do
over to
fish
yours.
different
It'll be
tours.
perfect.
So
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it'd be a
split
lot
the
of
I think it
cost
worked
of the
really well.
cameraman too,
Be a
producer
lot
and
of
editor.
content.
So when Matt quits his channel and he just wants to edit and produce, then
I'll come film for you guys.
Perfect.
Sign me up.
Perfect.
When he sells his channel.
Why don't you
I'm gonna
just
sell it to
feature
you
us
guys.
on your channel?
That's what I'm doing tomorrow. We're having a.
I'm talking.
What? Sorry for my buddy over here, man.
I'm talking about like full time, like get all our tournaments.
Yeah. Fishing the DMV podcast wants to know how many people you can fit in that van, that SB Fishing TV van.
Oh man, I don't know.
Never tried?
Never tried to see how many we can
Never
get in there,
tried.
but 15.
Okay. Well, that's a lot. So this is from Catherine, which must be related to Priscilla. They have the same last name.
That is Priscilla's sister, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Do you repurpose your content across other social platforms? Good question.
Of course.
Ooh,
Try
that
to.
is a good question.
So if I post a video, normally I will take clips out of it, post it on Instagram. I don't mess with TikTok as much as I should. It's, I don't know, not a big fan of it myself. But it's definitely something that is important to do.
So is it, and when you do that, is that just for that, like say you repurpose it for Instagram or Facebook, is that just for the Instagram or Facebook, or are you doing it with the purpose of driving them to the YouTube channel?
Generally trying to drive them into the
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Making
you're
the
steering
clips-
them and showing, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll post, we'll say a single fish catch from a video.
Right.
And hoping that they'll click through and watch the
Right.
entirety of the video on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So sorry, I lost my comment feed there for a second. I got it back. There was a really good question here, and I've always talked about like the timing of a post, right? Whether it's the timing, because I know this is important because Scott and McCoy are careful about and calculated on when they do certain posts and they drop certain videos. So do you have there's certain windows for social media posts too that are just, that get more traction. You know, I think Friday nights and Saturday nights are terrible.
Yep.
I think Monday afternoons at 5 o'clock are great.
Yep.
You know, maybe I'm wrong. You can
No, you're
correct me
hitting
if
it
I'm
right
wrong,
on the
but,
head.
and it's just, there's certain windows when people, and the majority of our demographic, like might be the southeastern U.S. or whatever it may be, is more likely to be on their phone at that time or their mobile device as opposed to somebody in, you know, China or whatever, that doesn't follow SB Fishing or Matt or Brian. All right, so what do you have a certain day every week that you put your new videos on that you feel like get more views faster than other days?
Or
And what
like
would
your
those windows be?
followers, do they have they expect a video at a certain time on a certain date?
I wish I could say yes. Generally, any Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would say have always produced the best views up front for me.
Right.
And trying to stick to that schedule is important. It's a really hard thing to do,
I
especially if
guarantee
you're
it.
doing it by yourself. And, you know, I got a bunch of travel coming up, and it's like, dang, I got to find time to edit. And
Right.
when you're driving 8 hours or you got 6 hours to drive somewhere or even 2 hours, but you're going to practice all day and then you have
Right.
a tournament the next one, you're like, well, tomorrow is,
Yeah.
you know, Sunday. I'm not going to have time to edit to post a video Tuesday. It can be tough. But
Right.
if you can set yourself a schedule and stick to it, middle of the week, I'd say, is definitely the best. And
Okay.
having that schedule is important because they don't even need to wait for a notification. They just know, okay,
They know that's when I'm going to drop the
Matt and
next-
Brian posted their video this
Right.
Tuesday at 7. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a lot of that. A lot of people don't realize how important that is about timing of posts.
Yes.
You know, and so here's.
I mean, that's what people's used to. I mean, if you think about TV shows, like my show comes on Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Stuff like
it's exactly
that. Like
that.
you get in a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Maybe one of y'all can answer it. Maybe one of the viewers can answer this. But I've noticed on like when I go under, because Emily's an administrator of my page, I just have the athlete page, like I think you do
Yeah,
on a personal
same,
page.
yeah.
And when I go under my page in my feed under my athlete page, the timing of the posts that show up in my feed are never current. They're always a day, 2 days, or 3 days old. Now, I'll see a couple current posts, but the
Yeah, I'm
majority
the
of
same
them
way, yeah.
are stuff people posted 24 to 48 hours prior to when I'm searching through my feed.
Right.
What is up with that?
I don't know.
Can anybody answer that? Like,
I've-
it's
I've
some kind of
noticed that
crazy
too.
algorithm that's in my deal that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll click on it and then I realize, oh, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it'll be like maybe a tournament update from you.
Right.
That happened 3 days ago, and it just popped up at the top of my feed when I'm
noticed that,
logged in as me. You know, when I'm under me.
Yeah, when you're just scrolling through your followers.
Correct.
Like through your feed.
And then when I click on it, you'll have 2 other posts that are newer than that I never saw.
Right.
So
Mine does
we
that
talk about
too.
those algorithms, dude. They're crazy.
mine does
like
that.
they're okay. Yours does that too.
Yeah,
Like
because I
when you
seen like a
first-
video. One of my buddies had a photo on Instagram. I seen it after work today, and he was talking about can't wait for my tournament. I was gonna be like, well, good luck. Hope you do good. And then I looked, it was 4 days old.
Yeah.
I was like, well, dang, I missed it.
Tournament's over. Yeah, you already
No.
fished it. How'd you do?
No, well, Keith said that's so my Instagram. He may be right. So here's the deal. Like I'm on my Instagram a lot more than I am my Facebook, just for
me
whatever
too.
reason, because it seems to be more engaging content. There's more
And it's
reels, there's
easier.
more videos, whatever. It's
Yeah,
easier.
it's more convenient.
It's a little quicker access, whatever. He said when you don't always get on, the algorithm thinks you need to catch up first. So I don't get on my Facebook near as much as my Instagram, and it's
Yeah.
my Facebook that does it more. So maybe that's right. Maybe
Yeah.
that is right. That is very. That's interesting. That's interesting, Keith. That may be but I still probably visit my Facebook at least. I try to at least once a day.
Yeah.
And my Instagram, I know I check every day.
You're better than me. I look at my Instagram every day, but Facebook maybe every month or two.
That's a lie.
It's the God's
Well, that's
honest
because you
truth.
cross post.
Yeah. like
Because
I-
all your
I
tags
post
on your
everything.
Facebook posts will be Instagram tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do
Yeah.
everything on
Yeah.
Instagram, then it posts to my Facebook page.
You do know that, right? All the tags when you cross post from Instagram, none of those tags on Facebook work.
Oh, I know.
For Facebook.
Well, I don't
Okay.
ever post anything on Facebook.
Well, I'm just telling you. Like,
Well, I do everything on
you,
Instagram.
you have to do a
I know
separate
that.
post. Okay, all right. I'm just letting you know.
I'm doing the best I can. Like,
You're
I
doing a
focus
fine
on
job.
Instagram.
You're doing a fine
That's where I
job.
focus.
Fine job. All right, so we got about maybe 10 minutes roughly left. And, Matt, I'm going to ask you, of all the fishing ventures you've been on, you talk about musky fishing. You done some saltwater stuff with your YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Of all the videos you've put out in the 4 years you've been doing this, what was the most, I don't want to say what you were looking forward to the most, but just the most exciting
Yeah. What was your
most
favorite?
fun
Which one did you
trip
have the most fun?
and
Trip.
destination you've been to?
So I've actually fished the lower 48 states, which is why I have that van.
The lower 48?
Yeah, we did the lower
As in all of them?
all 48. Well, we
Dude,
went to,
that's
we,
impressive.
we went to
I didn't know
Alaska.
that. I didn't know that either.
We went to Alaska too. The only one we have not hit yet was Hawaii. So that was
That's amazing
it was-
right there.
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So we did it in 82 days too. So it was a
That's
quick
insane.
one, but we fished and caught fish in the lower 48, well 49 states.
You
Well,
may
that's-
be the only
this is-
person that can say that.
This
No, there's people that have done it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Actually, all
impressive.
50.
Like, I feel like
Did
that
they
should
put it
get
on
more
YouTube?
notoriety.
Maybe not. Yeah,
That
you might be
should
right.
get more
got
notoriety.
something
That's
on 'em.
like an impressive feat. Like,
Well, that's definitely one of those other series that helped boost my channel to
yeah.
where it is.
Dang it, Matt. Now I've got
Well,
another
that's a-
goal
that's a
in life.
venture
Just
that-
like I needed another goal in life. Now I've
So
got
back to
one.
what we were talking about earlier is connecting to the person or the adventure or the goal.
Sure.
And if you led into that properly, which I'm sure you did, and you said this is the challenge, this is what we're going to chase, this is the dream, 48 states, we're going to catch a fish in every one of them. That's cool. That's engaging. That's
Yeah.
like fun to watch. So now,
That is,
since we
like-
know you caught a fish in all 48 states, what's the best state you've been to? Because we ain't been to all 48. We definitely ain't caught a bass in all 48.
One of my favorite states was Arizona, or like California, that border, like
Okay.
Havasu, Mojave.
Yeah.
Mojave was it's just so unique to me, being from the East Coast, being in those canyon lakes. You got probably 40 plus foot of visibility, smallmouth spawning in the backs of these creeks that were gigantic, down in 20 feet. We're sight fishing them with drop shots and flipping to them.
That is pretty
and some
cool.
that were so big that was just like, that's a carp.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a smallmouth.
Yeah.
And we were also the only people on the lake in like 2 days. There's no one out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's super unique. But
Where did you fish in California?
Havasu. So that one
Havasu.
was kind of it was a
I always
border
think
state.
Havasu was in Arizona. I guess part-
It's on the border.
okay,
It's
so part of it's actually California.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
didn't
got
know
a
that.
California fishing license. Had to go through the boat check. Out west, they're like pretty strict.
Oh, it's pretty.
Well,
on
California's like another country. Like,
well, out west in general, it's tough. Like if you're traveling with a boat, they need to check it for quagga mussels and
Yeah, check it for
grass.
zebra
And, like,
mussels, quagga
they'll
mu-
spray it down. They'll wash it for you.
Transporting invasive
150.
species and all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. They do
Oh,
that
yeah.
at some of the lakes up north here. They'll spray your boat off, and there'll be
Yeah.
somebody checking and pulling
Yeah.
stuff off.
They'll check your
Some
trailer, too.
lakes, like you've got to have a dry, like the inside of your,
Bilge.
yeah, the bilge area has to be completely dry before they'll let you launch. And
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I forgot
that was
about
new
that.
to me because I'm used to
Yeah.
fishing in the south where it's like,
Right.
okay, show up to a boat ramp, dump the boat in, and go.
Right,
But yeah, there was definitely some holdups on that end of it.
right.
All right.
That's pretty neat. Though. I'm still impressed by it. Like I could.
So where'd you fish in Kansas? Do you
Small
remember?
lake was
I don't think there's any big lakes in Kansas.
something Mound City, I think it was what it was called.
Okay. All right. Never heard of it.
So
but-
which
was
state
tiny.
was the most difficult?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah, we ended up. I honestly can't even remember the name of the lake. I blacked it out. We showed up there, and we were basically harassed by some brand new game warden
Oh,
who was
no.
like, he saw the van and some camera gear, which is also like a couple GoPros and like a small Sony camera, and he's like, "You guys need a permit to film here,"
Huh?
and just like
Oh, my
ran us
God.
around. He's like, "You're filming commercially," and I'm like, "It's for my YouTube channel." And we keep going back and forth. I'm
He
like,
had
"Fine."
to have encountered that before.
I know.
Like,
He was, I don't know if he was trying to show off or if he was new
Power
and was
tripping,
like just
man.
power
It's
tripping hard.
rough.
And I have respect for every single one of those guys.
Absolutely.
So I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, just how do I get the permit? I
Right, I'm
get it.
sure you're
He's
trying to
like,
do
it's
everything
going
the
to
right
take
way.
7 to 10 days. And I was like, well, I need to do it today. And I was like, fine, I won't monetize the video. Like it's for my own personal use. And he just finally let us go. But this was like an hours long
Hour
process.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, he was walking me around to different buildings and like basically trying to get this permit set up. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to film. Like, I'm not worried about it anymore.
yeah, that's
I did, but it was something I wasn't going to monetize. So
Right.
it's like, it's free for everyone to see. There's
Yeah.
nothing commercial about it.
right.
So we get out on the lake. It sucked. The water was like 46 degrees.
Oh, Lord.
But the last cast of the day, my buddy's backing the trailer down, and I'm throwing a shaky head with a black trickworm. I caught a brown trout. It was
Hey,
so. I was like, I'm not
it's a
coming back
fish.
here. Let's
Yeah.
go.
we're done with
Caught
New
a trout on
Mexico.
shaky head. Yeah, I like it. I
It was
like
awesome. It was one of those bites too, where you're like, no way.
Is this really happening?
Is this actually it? Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
All right. Well, that's very cool, man. I didn't know that about you either, man. That's a heck of a feat.
That is.
Real quick, don't forget, a couple minutes, we got our trivia giveaway, sponsored by English Choice Marine. I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple guys, Mr.
Yes.
Mike Burchett and Austin Cole. They have took over the Moss Lake Thursday Nighters that you've heard Brian and myself talk about on here multiple times. We grew up fishing them, been fishing them for what, 20?
I mean, that's where I won my first bass tournament.
I've been fishing them for 25 years. You believe that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe longer than that.
Well, you're older than me, so it's 25 for me.
Oh, my
27 or 28 for you, something like that. But I mean, point being is a long time. Like it's where we
Long
cut our
time,
teeth. We've been
right.
fishing those tournaments, and there was some question if they were going to keep going this year. And English Choice, a couple guys from English Choice Marine, Spindale, North Carolina, Mike and Austin took them over. Have done a phenomenal job.
Excellent job.
with
Great
the,
turnouts.
Yep, huge turnouts this year. A lot of money in the fish off. Going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to next year already. So, Brian,
And also sponsor the event with a bonus if you win the Moss Lake Thursday Nighter out of a boat you purchased at English Choice Marine.
yep, they do that every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday,
Every
if you
Thursday.
purchased your boat from English Choice Marine, any location, doesn't matter where you finish, as long as you're the highest finisher in that
Right.
category,
Doesn't
you get
matter if it's a
$100.
new boat,
Get $100.
pre-owned boat,
Yep.
doesn't matter.
Get $100. So I know actually because there was only like 3 or 4 this year. I know one particular person individually
Made out pretty good.
Mr. Buddy Black, that won it a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Of course, they won their fair share of Thursday Nighters too,
Right.
but they took home that extra $100 quite a few times. And just a reminder, English Choice Tournament Trail is also this weekend for Virginia. Believe Mr. Matt is going to fish that, right?
Oh yeah,
Yep, he'll be up there.
I'll be there.
You say Carr or Kerr Lake?
Bugs Island.
That's what I say. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I keep it easy.
Because people can argue for years about Kerr car. I'm like, just
Yep.
call it Bug
Well, I
Holland.
think there's
That's what
line,
I've-
there's a
yeah.
line somewhere around Salisbury. If you're west of Salisbury, I think it's Kerr Lake, and if you're east of Salisbury, it's Carr Lake.
Okay. Or it's just bugs across the state.
I call it both.
But that is October 14th and 15th. That is the Virginia Classic. And the winning team takes home what?
$25,000.
$25K.
And some hardware.
And some hardware. Yeah. God, you're like me. You just love the hardware.
I just want the hardware.
Brian's got so many trophies. I probably gives them away or something. But no. October 28th and 29th is the North Carolina Classic. Which, are you fishing that one also?
Fishing that one too.
All right, fishing
High
that
Rock.
one too.
Nice.
That's for the NC division, English Choice NC division. That's at High Rock. Again, how much to the winning team?
$25,000.
$25,000 to the winning team. So, pretty awesome opportunity. Get in on that English Choice team trail. And again, big shout out to English Choice for supporting Let's Talk Fish. Couldn't do it without them. But all right, it is about time for our trivia giveaway. I know we're getting. Oh no, that doesn't apply, Pete, with the Toyota Bonus Bucks program for the Thursday nighters we fish here at Moss.
Are you sure?
You'd be surprised if you go to Toyota bonusbucks.com. Check out, you'd be surprised the tournament trails that do follow that program. There's a lot of extra money to be picked up if you drive a Toyota. There's been a lot of money made over the years from guys driving
Yes.
Toyotas. And they have also always been the biggest supporter of our industry of any vehicle
They
manufacturer
have.
out there.
They've been in it a long time.
Yeah, they've been doing it a long time. Chevy did it for years, and then they just kind of
Never to the extent, though.
not
never
to
to
that
the level
extent.
that Toyota did.
But then they just kind of disappeared. Like, what's that? Maybe a decade ago.
Yeah, they changed marketing people and all that. I was
Yeah.
actually on the Chevy team when all that went down.
I think I talked to you about where most of that money ended up going.
Yeah, it ended up
Soccer.
going to overseas to a
English
soccer
Premier
team.
League Soccer, a
Yeah.
team called, if anybody follows professional soccer, they've heard of Manchester United.
Yep.
And the next thing I know, and I see it in the news, they're wearing the Chevy bow tie on their jerseys, and it was like a $520 million contract. Dude, it was something stupid. And I'm like, oh, that's where all the fishing money went.
Exactly.
They changed marketing people, and they were a soccer fan, apparently. So, but anyway, it happens. But no, big shout out to Toyota. They've always been a big supporter of our industry. Obviously, they're a big supporter of mine, but they do a lot for this industry from a lot of different angles, too. And it's rare that you can turn on the television now to almost any sport out there and not see Toyota somewhere. They support. I mean, you see them in basketball, you see them in baseball, you see them in racing, you see them in.
Pete was saying
you see
his
them in
local-
pickleball. You see them in pickleball.
Oh
Yep.
my God!
Just had to throw that out
Pete's
there.
saying their local Toyota dealership sponsors their
Oh.
Thursday nighters. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yep. I know Leonard's of Shelby. Shout out to Eric Yarborough is sponsoring a Big Fish, $500 Big Fish bonus for the fish off also.
Nice.
Yep. So, but anyway, let's jump into our trivia question. Matt, again, thank you, man, for coming on.
Very informative.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
It
I tried
is.
my best. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
I learned a
It's
lot.
been awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So y'all know the drill. I told Matt the drill. We'll watch the feed. The first correct answer that comes through.
I need to see
Oh,
the
you need
answer.
to see the answer, don't you? That's the answer down at the bottom. I don't think they can see it from there.
I got it.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure you can read that, okay?
Yeah,
all
I
right.
think I got it.
So the trivia question tonight, as we typically do, it does pertain to our special guest, Matt Streichel from SB Fishing TV. By the way, check him out on YouTube at SB Fishing TV. Instagram's all the same, right? SB Fishing TV on Instagram, and SB Fishing TV on Facebook, TikTok too. SB Fishing TV on TikTok. Smart man. Do the same thing across the board. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would ever do something different, but I have seen people do something
Yeah.
different. Like have, like let's just say Tyler Ward on YouTube, and then it'd be TW Fishing on Facebook, and then I'm like, that's just
Yeah.
don't ever do that. Like, just quick social media tip, like keep it the same across the board.
Exactly.
Make it easy for everybody to find.
People
you.
like easy.
Yeah, that's right. People like easy. They like easy. All right, trivia question. Here we go. This is for the Angler's Choice heavy duty weigh-in bag, Angler's Choice hoodie, and an Angler's Choice hat. Whoever wins tonight, now send us a message to our Facebook page. I need your shipping information, and I need to know what size hoodie you wear, what size hooded sweatshirt you would like. Here we go.
And
All
it's
right.
hoodie season.
That's right. I need in pounds and ounces, not Matt Arey, Matt Streichel's personal best bass. Okay? I need his personal best bass in pounds and ounces.
Pounds
and then he
and
can tell you where he caught it after we get the correct answer.
And
no,
what
we
he
can
caught it
talk
on.
about that anyway. Where'd you catch it? Tell him where you caught it.
Caught it on the Occoquan Reservoir.
Occoquan. So we were going to ask y'all that, but nobody would ever
Where'd
get
you
it.
catch it on? That's what I want to know.
Chatterbait.
There we go. On the
Yep,
chatterbait.
On the chatterbait.
Was it a Bryan Thrift signature chatterbait,
You know it.
or was it a jackhammer?
It was a jackhammer.
Wasn't a big blade. All right, I'm looking here. I've seen a lot of close ones.
I have too. It's going fast.
Gosh, it's going fast. I got to go backwards
Oh,
now.
wow.
Woo-wee.
There's a lot more people in here than I thought.
I've been keeping my eye
Oh,
on it.
we got to give it to this guy. And now wait, do you know this? Do you know Bassin with Big Malone?
He comments on a lot. Yeah, I know. I've talked to him a few times. Yep.
We still got to
Yeah.
give it to him.
Nice.
We still got to give it
Where
to
is
him
it at?
because
I
he
didn't
nailed
see
it
it.
dead on.
He did.
He nailed it in hundreds, and I said pounds and ounces, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because it was 985.
985.
All right, Bassin with Big Malone, you are the champion.
There
it
you
was
go.
985. I said pounds and ounces, but he said he nailed it. He must have known. That's why I said he must have known. 985, and I
That's
mean
pretty
you
good.
can that can equate to 912, 913, however you want to look at it. So
Wait, did I read it wrong?
no, we're good. It was actually 985
Okay.
before the conversion. So,
Ah,
but the
got
conversion
you.
is debatable. So we're going to give it to
Got
Bassin
you,
with
got
Big
you.
Malone. So Bassin with Big Malone, send us a message
That's
to
a
the
big
Let's
old
Talk
bass.
Fish
It was
Facebook page, okay, with your shipping information and the size sweatshirt you need from Angler's Choice. Compliments Angler's Choice. We do have a winner. So
Now we need to know what video it's on so the fans can
oh
go
yeah,
watch
yeah, that's a good point.
Lake record.
it. There we go.
Lake
Oh, is it
record?
Lake
Yeah,
record?
it was a-
Lake record?
Oh, my
like
God.
3 ounces.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Certified? Is certified and everything?
No, not
Okay.
certified.
All right.
So I
What'd
didn't
you
want
weigh it
to
on?
tournament scale.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we had
Certified, my mind.
32.5 pounds, I think.
Oh, Lord.
Six fish limit though.
And earlier he was downplaying all his 30-pound bags.
I think I've only got 2 though. I've only got 2. Also,
Which 30-pound bag?
Yeah.
I caught that fish again this past summer on
Did
the
you?
same tree 4 miles down. Yep. Almost positive it was the same fish. It was 890 something,
Oh my God.
but it looks the same. As soon as it hit the net, I was like, oh my God, again? It was very cool. So maybe a different fish, but
So you're catching the same
Pretty
8
sure.
9 pounder, and I
It's
think
my pet.
I'm
I
catching the
trained
same
it.
pound and a half for at Moss every day.
If they bite, I'm swinging, boys. If they bite, it wasn't 9.8, y'all. It was 985, which equates could be debatable whether it's 913 or 912 or something like that. But we got to give it to Bassin with Big Malone because he nailed it at 985. That was the actual digital weight of the fish. And I did say, pounds and ounces, but he was the one that nailed it in hundreds, along with close enough to give it to him on the 912 too. So I'm not gonna.
Ooh, can I plug something real quick?
Absolutely,
If
man.
you
Yeah,
guys
you told me
missed-
earlier you had a big announcement or something.
I do have a big announcement. If you guys missed out on winning this weigh bag, over at Angler's Choice, we're having a mystery tournament after the championship on Saturday. So a few of us are getting out. All of us are going to get these weigh bags. We're going to film a few hours of fishing a tournament, and they're going to be filled with baits. We can only fish with the baits in the bag, is what I believe is going on.
Oh,
And
now
there's
that's
gonna
a
be
cool concept.
3 different videos, and you can win giveaways on all 3 of these videos.
So all the baits have the same. I mean, all the bags have the same baits. in
All
them?
different baits.
That's pretty
that's
crazy.
That's why it's a mystery
That's
bag.
neat.
So
You put the-
So
Did you
it's
put the
like
goods in
drawing
yours?
straws to see what bag you get. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, okay, cool.
That's pretty cool.
I thought you meant like you filled everybody's bag and you.
oh no, not, I have no idea what's going to be in these things. It's going to be completely
That'd be
random.
bad if you were the guy that got like a bag full of 12-inch swim baits.
Oh, I'd be happy.
I'm just like, it
I
depends.
know what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Especially
you know,
it's
with
on
a bait
bugs
that
too.
you may
so.
get a bite or you may not get
Yeah.
a bite versus the guy with a bag full of trick worms.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a very fair point.
All right, so it's 8:04. Matt, again, appreciate you joining us, man. We're actually going to go out. Y'all can be looking forward in the future. We're going to go out and film some content with Matt tomorrow, myself and Matt, and we may be taking on a couple little slouches we found locally to go beat up on. But yeah, that'll be
It's gonna
probably
be fun.
popping up on Matt's YouTube channel here over the next, I don't know,
Week.
whatever. Week
and a half,
I
2
didn't
weeks?
answer because I don't know how fast you're gonna get it out there. You
Like,
never
I
know.
think
We'll get it out there
that's pretty
quick.
But and we'll have to figure out what's on the line tomorrow. We'll have to figure out what.
You're right.
come up
It's
with
always
Do
fun
we
when
have
there's
to
some
have
sort of
something?
consequence.
You always
Or
have to
money.
fish for something.
You always have to fish for something.
I mean, it could be a dollar bill that the loser signs or whatever. But
Okay, I'm good with that.
I already have your signature on my trophy case at home.
Do you?
Yeah, I got yours and Wheeler's on one bill. That's got to be worth something,
Forgot
right?
that.
Yep. So yeah, I'll take another one.
I gotta figure out
Take another
something then.
It was a $10 bill, so we'll do a $5 tomorrow or something like that.
Do a 5. That'll work.
All right. Yeah. Again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been fun, and
It's
I
been
learned a
fun.
lot.
I
You
learned a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because it's something I don't know a lot about. I know
Right.
very little about. Like it's a whole different side of the fishing equation.
Well, obviously, every week, every Tuesday, you have to get Tyler to help you pull up YouTube.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
find the app on your phone and get the chat going and all that stuff.
Yes.
He's only done it 600 times, Tyler. Something
Probably.
Like that.
Probably.
Yeah, a lot.
Hey, I did it all by myself tonight, though.
Yeah, congratulations.
assistance.
Congratulations.
I'm proud of myself.
I'm impressed.
I had to ask a question or two, but I got that.
All right, again, appreciate y'all tuning in. And when we can't go fishing on Tuesdays, what we're going to do, Brian?
We're gonna talk fishing.
We're going to talk fish. See y'all next time.